Do 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 do. Morning, Merry Christmas! Oh my God, it's literally so early. I don't even know if it's 9 o'clock yet. Yeah, it's 9:30. I'm a bit forward, isn't it? Um. So morning. Oh my God. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. Hope you had a lovely Boxing Day. And yeah, let's get into this video. So I realized something yesterday, right? And I made this story on my Instagram. And as I was making it, I was realizing more and more. And I was going to share it. And I thought, no, I'm going to make a proper YouTube video about this because I feel like it's an important mood for people to take into the new year, especially when you have undervalued yourself. So for me, right, I feel like I've I've undervalued myself, you know. I mean, like this year has been a trial and tribulation. Let's not even. But it's actually been more positive than negative for me, especially when it has to do with myself and my well-being. Like my growth this year, just in general for me, has been it's been amazing. It's been more than any other year. I've learned so much about myself, and this is the year that I really truly fell back in love with myself. Well, I fell in love with myself. I won't say back in love because the love that I felt for myself, I've never felt for myself before. I was just loving myself. I feel like as a perception of love, not really knowing what real love is, because I have that love for myself now. But what I realized yesterday is I've still undervalued myself in the way that I fell in love with myself, my insides. I have accepted who I am, what I'm not, who I want, who I'm not, and the past and all of this stuff, right? And I love it. All the bad, the goods, you know. I just love me. But I still have not been able to appreciate me. So, like, the person that I see in the mirror, it's just like, yeah, I'm alright, you know. But yesterday, I was like, you know what, yeah? I don't ever use pronouns her and, she and all that. I am he, his, and him. That is me. I'm a man, right? But yesterday, I called myself a bad bitch. And it felt so empowering. I don't understand where it came from. I was like, and when I even say it, I giggle, but it makes me feel like I was like, I'm a bad fucking bitch. I'm a bad bitch. I am. I'm not in the terms of me trying to be a woman or this stuff that people in general, but it feels like just an empowerment title to me, to be honest. And I've never felt that with any other word. I'm not regarding myself as a bitch, but I am bad. And I was like, you are. I was looking at all of the things. It's like all the things that I have to bring to the plate. I don't need, you know what, yeah? Let's just get into this. I feel like I've had a life where I've been dealt with people who are emotionally handicapped and emotionally incapable of truly giving me what I deserve. And I feel like I almost stoop down my level to try and help these people and to try and meet them beyond, not even halfway, but I give them the full road to walk on and I give them all the tools they need, and I'm here left starving for what they should naturally provide me. And I've done that all the time. Anything that goes wrong, I'm always making excuses. And then when things go bad and go sour, it takes like a major effect on me, and I end up really despising the people, but it's my fault because I've been undervaluing myself. So it's been easy to accept people that aren't even emotionally available and ready, you know? They And I can't blame people for that because everyone's got their own journeys, you know? Everyone has their own life to live, and everyone has a life where they need to learn themselves. Some people will learn later on, some people will just be how they are and who they are for the rest of their life. Some people, there's no point of no return. And you have to accept people for who they are. But for me, I've always done that, but I feel like I've always seen a seen more for them, and I try and work for them to see their potential in themselves, and that is not my job, especially if it's not solidified that we are something. So I shouldn't be reaching and giving and overdoing myself for something that is nothing, because that is giving more of myself than I deserve to be given, because you haven't worked for that. You need to work for that. But I don't allow people to, I've not allowed anyone to ever work. I've not allowed anyone to ever work for me, to be honest. I've always given myself freely, and I've always just done it out of the kindness of my heart. You know, I always want to see people do well. I always want to encourage people. It's just something that's in my nature. I think I get it from my mum. But sometimes it could be really detrimental because you, you end up just giving pieces of yourself and time to yourself, time from yourself to people that aren't really worthy. So, kind of felt like yesterday I realized that I don't need to do that. I don't need to make excuses for anyone anymore. If I don't like something, I will say it. And I've just had enough of. You can see the thing with me, yeah. I feel like I've grown so much. So the things that I used to like and the things that I used to do, the things that used to interest me, especially in people, like habits that used to be there, I, I despise now, and I just don't relate to anymore. But when you feel like people naturally are irritating you, or there's traits that people have that naturally make you feel uncomfortable, and you're like, this, and it's not the person that it's not the person that's changed. It's the fact that you have outgrown people. You've grown, and certain things that you used to rock with before, certain people used to rock with before, certain things you used to like doing, you don't find interest in them anymore. And now things that these people start doing start to irritate you more and more and more. But they haven't changed. They're still doing exactly the same things, and they're still treating you the same way that they did from the start. But when you've outgrown people, your surroundings and the people around you and certain situations start to feel very uncomfortable. And yesterday is the first time that I've acknowledged that I've really outgrown so much. Because there's certain things I think about, there's certain people I see, there's certain people that I messaged, and I'm just like, I have that irritating feeling. And it's not them, it's me. It's because I'm not that person anymore. And I want you guys to acknowledge that, because it's something that I didn't know. And I did question, like, why is it suddenly this person irritating me? Am I not liking this anymore? Why do I feel uncomfortable wearing this or doing this? It's because I've outgrown that, and I'm still trying to literally dumb myself down, in a sense, to try and be the person that I was when I'm not that person anymore, and do the things that I used to and be around the people I used to, and it's just not happening. It's very important that you're surrounded by people who are going through that growth and that change with you. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to see that person as equal. You're never going to be able to really give your whole self to them, because you'd feel very irritated by the things or the situations or the places you go. There's so much things that I know that I'm tired of. So it makes it so much more easier just to be at home, because I'd rather be in my own company than be somewhere that I don't want to be around people I don't care to see. It's just, I've really grown, and it's changed my perspective in all areas of my life. Like, now, I really don't really care for a relationship at all. I don't care for a man. I love looking. I love it. Oh, it's what eyes are for. When there's someone good looking, I can appreciate it, but I don't want anything from you. You can't do anything for me. And you need to, it's going to take someone really, like, really special, to be honest, to come into my world, because I'm just not about giving my energy left, right, and center like I was before. And when I see myself now, I see myself as a fucking baddie. Like, I don't. It's so weird that because I've always been a confident person, but I've never been confident in my being. So, like, it's like I know my character. I've always been confident in my character and who I am. Like, that's it. It is what it is. But just my physical, I've never. When I look at myself, I'm like, it's not even about being hot, good looking, sexy. It's just about this is what it is. And you know what? As I am in my entirety, I'm a fucking baddie. Right? Like, I don't need to compare or belittle anyone or emasculate anyone to make me feel better. I'm telling you that me, Junior Joy, is a baddie. Point blank, period. I'm coming to that. It's so exciting for me. And I want you guys to know that you are too. Like, try it. Say it. Like, look at yourself in the fucking mirror and be like, I'm a bad bitch. I don't care who you are. Say it. And it feels so good. Like, you're going to giggle. Especially if it's not something you're used to saying. Because I mean, I'm not ever used to saying that. But it feels so good. Like, I don't feel like anyone can tell me nothing. You say I'm ugly. You say maybe for you, I didn't put my beauty. My beauty is no longer in anybody's hands. I don't. My validation is no longer in anybody's hands. My self worth is no longer in anybody's control but my own. I hold all those jewels now, and I never ever in my life thought I could ever get to such a place where I'm so in control of myself, my feelings, my emotions, and I'm just really excited because I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still achieving. And just to get to this place where I'm ultimately, for once in my 31 years of living, I am actually content within Junior. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be him. I don't wish I had this. Everything that I wish I had is goals. So like they're goals that I'm working towards and things that I'm capable of doing myself. But not surgery, not wishing that I would look like him or wishing I had this man or all these things that used to provide even more insecurities to me. And it used to be very easy for people to manipulate me because I was never really whole and confident within my own self. So I feel like that is the reason why it was always easy for me to be in the same repetitive cycle with the same people over and over again, experiencing the same things, different, same shit, different day, different name, different face, but the same person, rotating around and around and around and around. Is because I was never whole. I've never been whole, and I always thought I was. But how do you expect to have something whole and meaningful when you yourself are not the person that you want for yourself? You know, I've never been the person that I wanted for myself, so I always got what I deserved. I said this in another video, but it's very relevant because it's true. I've never been who I needed to be for my own damn self. And now I'm coming into that place where I am, and it feels good that I don't need anyone for it. Like, I don't need a man to make me happy. I don't need people to make me happy. Like, I know the difference now. Like, You contain your own happiness. Happiness is within your hands. So it's how you view your life, how what you do to make yourself happy. Happiness should live within you. People should just contribute and add. They shouldn't provide happiness. You should be happiness in your own entity. And I've always been that, but I've never acknowledged it. So I've never been able to embrace it, to enhance it, to live in it. And then when people come, I would always attach that experience to them. And then it wouldn't make me want to do that experience, and it would always make me like feel like I've lost something. But you as an entity, your happiness, people are just meant to add and contribute. Like, okay, we have a good time. You make me laugh, but if you wasn't here, would I not ever laugh? Listen, I'm talking to a camera here and I'm having the time of my life. I'm laughing. Like, no one should ever be able to take that away. And that is something that I've really learned actually, like over the past week, especially. I get overly stressed about things that don't matter. And it's just not going to be that way anymore. Because ultimately, in this life, you actually don't need anybody. You don't need no one. You don't need anyone. Because you should be your own entity, your own self. So if you don't feel that self-secure and that self-sufficient, then you need to really learn to really invest in yourself, because the only person you truly have in this world at the end of the day is yourself. Everyone can die. Everyone can go. We all gonna die, but you know what I mean. You should still be so happy within yourself that it's your you haven't you don't feel like you keep losing parts of yourself. And I feel like that's why it was so easy for when people came in. I always felt like they always took a part of me that I could never get back, because I always held people in a higher regard than I held myself. You know, I put my love and my attention and my affection in everybody that was around me, and I wasn't even putting that in myself. So when people came, it felt like they took a chunk of me every single time, and I felt incomplete. I felt like I was damaged goods. I felt like I was worthless. Like I wasn't. I just didn't feel like I was worthy of anyone or anything. So to get to this place, it makes me so flipping ecstatic that I finally connected the dots, and I can just trust the universe, and I can just live in my whole being happy with me. And if you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. I always attach so much things to people, but the worst thing to do is put all your trust into people, because people can come and go. No one that is a human is guaranteed to be here. There's people that I thought were my best friends that are not here. There's people that I would have died for, that I would put my all into, that are not here. There's men that I have thought I've loved and I would have given them everything. They left. But I've always been here. And I will always be here. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you about yourself? We put too much into everybody else and not enough affection and love into ourselves. That's what I said every time. I never was the man I needed for myself. I'm more than the man I need for myself right now. So someone needs to add something significant to my life to really be deserving of my life. Because my energy, my time, my happiness, my sanity, my being is more precious than anybody here. So I'll never, ever in my lifetime be sorry for taking time for myself, for investing in myself, for doing what I need for myself. I don't need to ask you permission if for me going places, or I don't need to tell you I don't need to do a damn thing. And neither do you guys. Because there's people here been happily living their lives, going places, doing things. And I always felt like when I did something, I felt like I was made to feel bad because I didn't invite this person, I didn't tell this person. But I see you going out, doing all these things, and I'm like, oh, why, why hasn't anyone told me about this? And I'll hear about the after, what happened after, but I never was invited. But I would always feel bad. But when it was me, and I was like, how comes? And it's like one rule for one person, one rule for all. So now you just have to stand in your truth and do what you need to do for you. And that is the mood for next year because let me tell you something here. I'm that bitch. I'm a bad fucking bitch. You're a bad bitch. You're a bad fucking bitch. You are a bad fucking bitch. And that's on period. I love it. I love this new me and I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to just live my life in my new being. I feel renewed, you know, I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I finally connected the dots and now I'm just ready to live my 30s and be this me, you know? Because my 20s, it's a big mistake. I was making mistakes left, right, and center. My whole 20s was a mistake. But if I could go back to it, would I? Never. Because that part of my life is done. I have I have a new slate, if you know what I mean. And now it's just time to live in my truth and be happy in my being. And I remember I did say something, but I never resonated with myself like the way I do now. And I remember saying it was to Izzy actually, and I was like, if I get to, I feel like I can happily be single for the rest of my life because that used to be my biggest fear when my nan died because my nan was single for 53 years after she was 30. So I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to be like my nan when I was 30. It was a big fear. I've spoke about it before. And Izzy was like, no, 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 you're made to be loved. And I've always believed that we're put on this earth to love and to be loved. I do really honestly believe that. And I still believe that, but I could be made to love and to be loved, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm made to be in love. Because the times that I've given my heart, I've never felt it being reciprocated, and that's the truth, to be honest. When people say, "Have you ever been in love?" I always question it because I feel like to be in love, both of you have to be in love. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's wrong. I don't think one person can just be in love and one person does not. Okay, that means you've loved somebody, but you've never been in love. And I've really thought at the time that me and my ex, we were in love. How come we was never in love? I loved him, but he didn't love me. We was never in love. It was never in love. It wouldn't have ended and the things would have happened wouldn't have happened. There's certain things you do. There's certain things you would never do if you're in love with somebody. You can just love someone as a person. People always get it misconstrued and always think that it's in love. It's not. You can love a person and still hurt them, you know, intentionally. Like it can be a thing. But if you're in love with someone, that depth, that true love will have you thinking twice before you think about hurting anybody. Like, no, you would have certain rules and there's be certain things certain lines you would never cross. Because that type of love, no. No, no, no. No one's perfect, but there's certain things you would never do, in my eyes, if you're in love with somebody. There's a difference between being in love and loving. If you want more on that topic, just put in love versus love down below and we can talk more about that. But I'm at the point now where it's the truth though, because you should be able to be single and it shouldn't be a bad thing. You shouldn't. And I've picked up on this certain points, but I've never got it. But now I get it because whether someone's here or not, I'm always going to be here. And that means I'm always going to be good. So you don't make that much of a difference. You're just meant to contribute to my happiness. You're not meant to make me. No one can ever make me. No one can ever make you. So, what do you want to be? Come here and make what? Do you know who I am? And this is not even from yesterday. Oh my God, I've always been self-assured. Like, you can never make me. What? Are you crazy? Make who? Can't make me, babe. I've always been a happy person. I've always been positive. I've always been optimistic. Like, what are you going to make? I've always had goals. You can push me. That's not making me. That's you doing what you're meant to be doing. Motivating, contributing to my happiness. Contributing to a better me. You can't make me. So, please. That's what you should have. That's the attitude you should fucking have for your own damn self. If someone can make you from the ground up, you have been broken for a long damn time. And it's a shame that someone can feel like they can take the credit in making you who you are today. The only person, the people, my mum and my dad put me in this world, right? But I wouldn't say they made me who I am. I feel like life and being a product of my environment and just life, and mainly me and my insecurities and my sufferings, my tears, I've made Junior. Please, no one here can ever claim, oh yeah, I made Junior. I made him who? You made what? Please, God. And there's a lot of people where you can make them, because you can make them. There's a lot of people that aren't whole. But I don't want that anymore. Oh gosh, I'm tired of broken people around me, man. I'm so tired of it. I feel like it's draining, and I'm not emotionally capable of having that anymore around me. I feel like I've had too much men that I've dated. Broke. I'm sick. I'm bored and I'm tired. I haven't got energy for it. So you need to fix yourself, honey. Fix your life before you feel like you can come here. Because if you're expecting to be loved, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not going to treat you like a baby. I ain't got time for it. So if you're broken and you need an over attention, I feel like you have to know who you are and you have to own it. Because then someone knows if you're in your truth, you can happily come to someone. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm emotionally. I need a lot of affection. There's certain things that I need, and I know that it's a characteristic flaw, right? Because being emotionally unstable is a characteristic flaw, but you should be able to own it and allow and speak it into a positive light, being like, this is my characteristic flaw. And I do need a bit more attention than the usual person. I do need you not to be doing this and not to be doing this, and know what someone else is getting into. That I can respect. That I can deal with because I already know how to handle it because you've come up to me and you own it. A lot of people don't own these things, come to you with all these broken pieces, and then expect you to. It's unfair. You don't just go to people like that. It's like going to someone and not telling them you have kids and then telling them when you're official and expecting them to deal with it. You don't do stuff like that. You make things clear. All these characteristic flaws, you should know yourself so much. Like when you're sitting in front of someone, you should be able to say, you know what, this, and this. Someone should be able to have the choice to accept it or not. But you should know yourself well enough to know whether this person accepts it or not, you're always going to be fine because you're amazing in your entity, regardless. We all have flaws. I don't sit down and tell you what my flaws are because it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't because I own myself. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't invest in themselves, and then we as nice people just go into these situations and feel like we can fix people. But you can't fix people. You can't fix situations. You can't fix things when people don't even want to help themselves. If you can't help yourself, if you can't acknowledge what your flaws are, embrace it. What? I'm not God. I'm a god, but I'm not the god. Okay. Oh my God, I love this me. Oh my God, it's been a long time since I've done a video like this. It feels nice, isn't it? Do you guys like this type of seeing. I want to know actually because it actually works better for me because my laptop's always on, so it's just easier to be like, let me make a video, put the phone there and do it, rather than setting up a whole thing. But if you would like a proper setup, because I know you like seeing all of me, don't you? Naughty, naughty thing. Just let me know and we'll make something work for next year. But I kind of like this though. I feel like it's intimate. Don't you feel like I'm talking to you though? No? Just lie in your bed and watch this video. It could be like we're talking. But anyway, that's enough. This video is 30 minutes. It's so long. I'm not cutting it and I'm not editing it. So remember, you're a what? You're a bad bitch. And I will see you very soon. I love you guys. Merry fucking Christmas. And I hope you had the most amazing holidays. And remember how important you guys are in your own entities. I really hope you take something from this video because it's unplanned, it's all over the place. But I really hope you take something from it because this is an important message. I love yous. Take care. Remember, you're what? You're a bad bitch. Ah! This is my new thing for next year.